Hey everyone, I just want to take a moment here and share my TC2000 layouts with you. The past several days I've had requests from various people if I could send them my layouts or if I'd be willing to share them. And I thought, why not make a video real quick to kind of really show the power of TC2000 and how I use it to trade, whether it be swing or day trade. I have several different layouts here that I use here, as you can see. This is my main layout, right? This gives me all my indicators for my daily trades, or I'm sorry, my swing trades is on my daily chart. I have the 9 EMA, the 200 moving average, the 50 moving average, the 200 moving average. I have Bollinger Bands on this. I have stochastics. Um, I have the average true range, and then of course I have my day trading chart over here. I have my 9 EMA, the 20 EMA, and the VWAP, right? And then of course down here I have my watch list. I have my the symbols I flagged from my research the night before, and then of course I got other things tabbed in here like the various scans that I do. I also over here, this is usually where I keep my gappers, right? So every morning I'll have two lists that I'll be looking to play for the day, right? I'll have stocks that I did the night before in my research that'll be on my watch list, right? So even though it says flagged, it's still a watch list. And it's real simple. For those that don't know, TC2000, if you find a stock that you like, so let me just pull up something that's not on my list here. Let's say that I pulled up the stock and it interests me and I wanted to put it on my list for potential play the next day. You just hit the letter F key on your keyboard and it will show up flagged. And if you want to remove something from your watch list, you just make sure it's highlighted and then hit the letter F again, and then it will unflag it. So this is my daily watch list that I usually have. Over here is the gappers. So for stocks that meet my gap requirements in the morning, I'll go ahead and I'll check out their daily charts, and if they look like they're in play, if they have some PR, some earning news, depending on the reason for the gap, I may be interested in putting it on my gapper list to play during the day. Then of course we have positions, which are things that if I'm back testing a pattern or I'm trying to figure out the method to the madness for a specific stock, I'll play it. Like I'll simulate the trade just so I can kind of feel a little bit easier as opposed to jumping in beat first and kind of not know what I'm doing. Then I also have other scans over here that run throughout the day. Like I have a scan for strongly trending stocks that for they scan for dailies, and then intraday I have another one for that. We have liquid gainers, which are stocks that are up 3% and have a high relative volume, and then of course top losers, which is the stocks that are down 3% or more, and of course they meet the liquidity requirements as well. But this is my technical analysis for the way I play the market, right? And then over here on the side, I do have the drawing. So if I ever want to, let's say I want to mark, you know, resistance level, I can just click on the horizontal bar, click it, and it will give me the actual price to the side, right? Which is nice because I want to be able to know where a stock, if a stock is going to approach my resistance and it's going to break, so let's say the stock's right here, and if it breaks above, say, if it breaks above this level here, right, I want to see just how much room. I mean, is it worth playing if it's only going to go another 20 cents? Probably not. But these are nice. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do with this. I mean, they've got all kinds of stuff. Fibonacci, regression channels. I mean, you've got tons and tons and tons of stuff. Things I don't use, but they're nice to have and they're nice to look at, right? And maybe who knows? Maybe at some point I'll start spending more time with these different functions here and the patterns that go with it. But again, this is my main chart that I keep up pretty much all day long. Now I do have other layouts as well that other people have asked about. This is my Sunday night chart. So this is what I do every Sunday night is I'll go through the market. I'll do momentum scans. I'll look for stocks, hottest stocks in the last 90, 30, or 5 day. And the great thing about TC2000 is you've got sortable columns, right? So maybe if I'm looking for swings, maybe I want to look at, stocks that were the hottest in the last 90 days or the last 30 days. But if I'm looking for something for a day trade idea, I'm going to click, 5 days, and I want to see what stocks are the hottest in 5 days. And I can just go down the list. Whatever interests me, I can actually just flag it. And of course, on Sunday nights, I also do other things like I scan the indexes. I'll do an industry scan. And then once a month, I'll go through each sector and I'll go through every single stock in the market. But I mean, this is really not much different than the other one. Now, the nice thing about this here, the way I have this set up, is I have different, let's say we go to my index scan, right? So sometimes, right, if you're trading an ETF, you're going to have multiple stocks that are going to be inside that ETF, right? So it's not just going to be one stock. So let's take a look at, say, like gold. Now, as you can see, this right here changed, right? So let's just go up here. We'll go back. Now this changes, right? So this is all linked. These are all the stock, like or down here. These are all the stocks that are in this the GLD index, right? And if you ever want to see what stocks are in a certain index, all you got to do is on your TC2000, you can go over here and click open the component watch list. If you don't have this here, you can do this, and then you can take the float and you can actually put it down below this here. So every time now when you click, let me go ahead and close this out. Every time when you click here, things that are associated with that will pop up down here. So I don't have to go and click that and bring open another window and then link it and resize it. And it just allows me to move quickly and swiftly. So that's my Sunday night. Then I also have a 4 time frame. So this way here, this layout allows me to align on multiple time frames so I can make sure stocks are heading in the direction that I would like, right? So the more that align, the better off and more likelihood that my probability is going to be higher for a win, right? So I like this one. So if you want to use this one, these are all things I have like on different monitors. I have a 4 monitor setup. So some of these things I will drag to different one. Now I also like to keep an eye on the SPY and on TVIX, because again, they basically run opposite one another, right? Just same thing with like SQQ and TQQ. Their movements are correlated to the QQQ, right? So this is I keep this as a 6 window chart just on my tabs here. So if I'm ever worried about what the market's doing and I want to make trades on it, I'll go ahead and I'll change that and I'll check it out. Now also this is my 6 window layout. So I actually have 2 of these on. I have one on my upper screen and one on my, well, actually I have them both on my upper screens, on the right and the left. What this allows me to do is it allows me to take the top 6 stocks, right, that I'm watching, and if I'm not real confident of those 6, I may have the second window where I populate those with different tickers as well. But it allows me to watch a stock. So instead of having to look at one chart and click back and forth, I'm able to watch multiple charts, right, and be able to see which one is going to give me what I'm looking for. I'm able to recognize patterns on, across different stocks. So maybe this one here, I'm waiting for whatever pattern. Maybe I'm waiting for a pullback. Over here, I'm watching this one because maybe I'm looking for a bounce off the VWAP or whatever the pattern I'm looking for on these certain stocks, right? So I have an idea of what I'm looking for when I go into the stock. And of course, I have the patterns that I'm able to plan it. But this is really, really nice because it allows me to watch multiple stocks, right, over 6 windows where I don't have to keep clicking back to here. I'll give you an example. Like if this is my list, I don't have to keep doing this all day, right? It's ridiculous. And sometimes I might want to just take a seat on my couch and be able to watch from afar, and I can see this up on my other monitors real clearly. Then I also have I got a plethora of scans. Like I have another screen that has a whole bunch of different scans on there, and they're all color coded based off of if if there are scans that are for stocks that are up 3%, 10%, whatever, breakouts above, new 52-week breakouts. Then of course I have a color coder for like pullbacks or potential shorts and stuff, which is like red. So it's easily recognizable. I try to make my stuff as organized as possible so I don't have to sit here and go, well, what was I thinking when I made this, right? And then of course we have the simulator, right? This one's really, really nice. So if you ever want to paper trade using TC2000, or maybe you want to get good at your trading before you start using real money in a live setting, which is a really wise idea. This is a great way to do it. You can also, I have my flag symbols here, my liquid gainers, my top losers. So, I'm able to buy, sell, short, close positions. It's awesome, right? And of course, I still got my drawing tools over here that I'm able to draw. Again, you can do, there's one or two ways actually. I learned a new way this morning, which is really cool. So typically, it's really three ways you can do this, right? So if you want to draw a trend line, let's just say that we wanted to draw a trend line. We would go over here, click the trend line, click and drag, right? And that's our trend line, right? All right, well, let's say. Now, the other way you can do is you can hit the control key, which for me, it's a little iffy sometimes, right? Because I have a wireless keyboard and it don't always see, like, I'm hitting the control key right now and it's not giving me what I'm looking for. So now the other way, now typically, if my control key was working, like this would change a little circle and I'd be able to, there we go. See, sometimes it's iffy, right? And it just annoys the shit out of me, like it really does. So the other thing that I learned today, right, is you can click. Say if I want to draw my trend line, right? So I draw my trend line. All I gotta do is hit the space bar, and bam, right? So I don't have to even worry about clicking, hitting the control key and dragging, and then when it doesn't work, doing it multiple times. It's really nice. I like this a lot. And the other thing too that I like about that I learned today, you can actually go into TC2000 here, right? And you can change the system settings, go into chart, and you can actually increase these time span buttons down here, right? When I think when you first get TC2000, they're really small, like, and you have no idea what the hell they are. But when you make them bigger, right? What's really nice about it, so let's say, right, let me find a stock it's been around a while. Let's see. Here, let's just take TVIX, right? So maybe like, now the ways that you can scroll in and out of TVIX, like you can use your scroll button, right? You can scroll down and it will take you out, and then you can scroll up and it will put you in. But maybe I just want to see what TVIX is doing for the year. You can click year to date, right? And it gives me everything for the year to date. Maybe I want to see what TVIX was doing for the last year. Go down here, you click the 1 year. Now it gives me the entire 1 year. So I don't have to spend all my time clicking or dragging. The other nice thing is that you can take this and you can zoom back in time, right? So it just takes you back without having to do all this extra scrolling and stuff. But again, I mean, this is so nice, right? I mean, look at this. Like, this is what TVIX was. Like, I mean, with all the reverse splits and everything, if everything had stayed the same, like, man, TVIX start would have been, geez, Lord. But no, it's not a $10 million stock. It never was a $10 million stock. But but again, and it's nice, right? So I can do maybe 6 months, or maybe I just want to see 3 months worth. I mean, this is really nice. I'm able to see everything I need to see right here, and be able to click that. But this is what you can do for your simulator, right? Then I also have on one of my other screens, I have a separate daily chart, and the reason I like this is because it's really big, right? And when I want to draw trend lines, or maybe I want to look, especially for like maybe things like flat top breakouts. Sometimes you can have a flat top breakout that will go back months, maybe even over multiple years, right? So I mean, if you get a flat top breakout, uh, you, you won't really know unless you go back and look for even further. Plus, it's always nice to be able to go back and see what the what type of movements have happened in the past. I mean, I wouldn't really do it for TVIX, but I mean other stocks, depending on maybe like you'll be look maybe the pattern that you're playing is something that you're like, look, what's happened in the past when this pattern's emerged in this stock. So you get an idea of maybe what your reward to risk ratio may be, what kind of moves the stock has made. But I have one for daily, and I also have another one for intraday, right? So, and I like to keep them different colors. I mean, obviously, I'm a Gator fan, so they're orange and blue, right? So I got orange here, blue here. It's a little bit darker blue than I normally like. So I mean, it's not like my 6 window layout, right? So if I go back to my 6 windows, yeah, you can see this. They're pretty defined. I'm a Gator fan, right? But But again, having it a little bit darker blue allows me to see these lines better. And the other thing that I've done too, that a lot of people don't do, is by default your lines are a small line, right? So you can change your line styles. So this is how it was when it's default, right? But I like to be able to see things. I don't have the greatest eyesight, so I like to go ahead and make them a little bit thicker, so that way they pop a little bit more on the screen, and I'm able to see these things, not just when I'm up on the screen, but if I'm across the room or maybe I'm on the couch or whatever. Um, Again, these are really nice. So, but again, you're more than welcome to download any of them. What I'll do is I'll post links in the description, and all you have to do is click on the link. If you have TC2000 installed, and I believe if you have an active subscription, you can click on them and download them. And when you download them, they will pop up here in this little area with the um, I call it the three balls, right? It's like three little circles that are connected there, but they'll pop up, right? And when they pop in here, all you have to do is um, click the name of the layout, or just click the little layout link, and it will actually, let's just say this is what I did. Well, so now I've got another intraday, right? But that's what you do. Is you just click that and it will pop up there. The first thing you want to do when you download these layouts is you want to save layout, right? Right click it and save layout. Or if you want to rename it something better or something that you're easily identifiable for you, just click rename, give it a name, and then click save layout. If you don't click save layout, there's a good chance it will not be there the next time you opened up, right? So, but again, that's what you do. And for those that had followed the video the other day, this is how I showed you all how to actually put together your first layout, right? Like I said, this is my main layout that I use all the time. Mine's a little bit different because I have mine tweaks for what I do. Whereas, but for somebody who's just starting out, trying to get to learn the software, this the Parabolic YouTube layout that we created. It's really simple, right? Again, same premise, right? You have your flag symbols, you have your gappers, you have your liquid gainers, and you have your top losers. That's it. That's all you really need, right? I mean, of course, there's things you can do as far as watch lists and scans and other things and notes and stuff, but that's probably a lesson for another time. But again, I just wanted to take a moment here and kind of go over the layouts that I'm going to be sharing. So if you see something that you might want to use, feel free to download it and to use it and modify it. That it helps you. Again, um, it's really nice. So I'm not real sure whether or not these columns will come with the layouts. If they do, right, this is my momentum sort, right? If the columns do travel with this, which I think they probably do, what you want to do is you can right click this and click save column set, and it will save it. Right now you have a choice. You can either save as, which you can give it a name, right? So obviously mine's Momo, right? And you can actually save it as a default, or save it as a default for system watch list, the industry group watch list, and personal watch list. I'd recommend saving them from all, right? Because again, there's nothing wrong with being able to sort for 90, 30, and 5-day Momo, right? Because all it's going to do is give you the top, the hottest stocks in the last, I guess if we go to my 90-day Momo tab, like right here, it's going to give me the hottest stocks in the last 5 days. Now, of course, Friday was last week was just bad all around, right? But I mean, look, you got 137 stocks that are at least break even, in the last 5 days, right? That meet my parameters, right? Because obviously, I have a certain amount of volume that I'm looking for. I have a certain minimum price that I'm looking to trade. Obviously, the more you change that around, the more you change those conditions, the more this list is going to change and maybe filter down. Like again, am I going to go through all 683 stocks? Nope. I'm looking at the top 50, maybe the top 100, and I'll do that, and I'll learn what the top 100 is in all these categories here, right? So that's how you figure out what you want to do, how you want to trade. But again, hopefully this has been informative, and hopefully those of you that download these layouts, get some great use out of it. And if you don't mind, hit the like button, subscribe, and and obviously I'll do more videos, so that way there in the future when I do more videos, you'll be notified. Again, hope y'all enjoyed it. Thanks.